Good morning. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Julian coming through with another message. God, this intro is so awkward. Um, see, the message today is watch out for squirrels and weasels, as well as hyenas and vultures. Right. So, let me introduce this message. It's a kind of spiritual, psychological message. And let me start it by telling you that a long time ago, when psychology was not invented yet, or still, it was not there, or today for people who have no access to psychological knowledge or support systems, and in indigenous populations, there is this spirituality, shamanism, and so on. And these people will describe the same phenomena that we describe in psychological ways, in spiritual ways. So if a therapist says, oh, this person has this or that personality disorder, or this problem, or this whatever, the shamanist or the shaman will say, this person is possessed by this or that spirit. So they call the same thing that we call personality disorders or whatever as spirits. And I mean, we also say that a person has a certain spirit, right? Yes, and let me introduce my message also. By the way, spirituality for me is something that has nothing to do with magic. Magic I would rather put in the corner of witchcraft things. I would say spirituality is simply a connection to nature and understanding oneself, and on the basis of understanding oneself, understanding the world, but also understanding the world, and on the basis of understanding the world, understanding oneself. So it's a process of understanding and feeling connected and working on oneself and so on. So, but it's deeply connected to nature. And this is why in spirituality, animals are important as well, and the knowledge of animals can help you to understand yourself better. When we are developing in the womb of our mother, we're going through the whole evolution in our shape. Okay, so we're going through the whole animal kingdom in our evolution, and our brain was developed the same way. So we have the old parts of the brain that are also in reptiles, but we have additional operational hardware systems, so to say, that developed over time, but they are not necessary for just surviving. This is why in some people the prefrontal cortex, the neocortex, is not working the same way as with other people. So to say, the new hardware is probably needs some updates still, and not everybody knows how to use it correctly, and so on and so on. But let me just now get into the message, and I just wanted to tell you, in spirituality, in spiritual understanding of the world, which is close to that what psychology is doing today, animals are important. That is why I start now with an old Norse mythological story. Excuse me, please. And there is this story of the world tree Yggdrasil, which is probably also called the tree of life. And on top of the tree there is sitting an eagle, and in the underworld in the roots of the tree, there is the Midgard snake, a dragon, a snake, feasting on the roots of the tree. So there is a dragon or a snake, a worm, eating the roots of the tree. And on top of the tree, there is an eagle. Okay? And between the two, there is a squirrel going back and forth. And this squirrel is creating all kinds of wars and division because it tells the eagle what the dragon says, and it tells then the dragon what the eagle has said, and nobody knows whether it speaks the truth or not. So in this story, this is an old Norse mythological story that is probably 4,000 years old, and we see nothing less than that what psychology today describes as a triangulation. Okay, so the squirrel is triangulating the eagle and the dragon, and thus creating chaos in the world. And this is what triangulation ultimately does. Okay, so triangulation was coined, the term was coined in relationship to parents using the child, so mother, father using a child to manipulate or creating a triangulative situation, which means that the relation of two people is being manipulated by putting in a third person. You can educate yourself about that. But toxic people use triangulation in all settings to create chaos and to extract something for themselves. So they play games with this, okay? They use it to, it could be they try to trigger envy. So they are ultimately, they themselves are envious, or they want something, and this is why they put in another person in the relationship, and they hope that this makes the other partner more decisive or fight for them and finally get what they want. But of course this can backfire, or they try to make people that normally would get along very well together and be able to communicate healthy. They go between these people and start communicating between them, and thus creating division and war, because maybe the manipulator wants to get rid of one of them. Whatever, it's stupid games they play and stupid prizes they win, I would say. So we see in a 4,000 years old mythological story the concept of triangulation already. And now let me get to the traits of these animals. In my title of this video, there is the squirrel. The squirrel, I would use it because it's easier to communicate and remember the sets of traits that people might have by giving them an animal spirit. This is what the FBI also does to quickly communicate something. So this person has a lion mentality, this person has a wolf mentality, this person has a squirrel mentality. So the squirrel mentality is, it is curious, it is opportunistic, it seems to be harmless, it is playful, but it can also be gossiping. Okay, so it's just these, from the trees. And it can be probably indifferent. Okay, so we have this set of traits, which is basically being curious, being opportunistic, being looking harmless, and being indifferent. And this can be, it seems harmless. Oh, it's just a squirrel. Oh, it's so cute. It's so playful. but it can be dangerous. And this is what we see in the story of the eagle and the dragon. And instead of letting these two communicate directly, it is playing between the two. And we see these traits also in people. Um, and there's always this kind of camouflage. I will come back to this in the other animal spirits that I will describe. And squirrels in nature, they will easily eat the small birds, young birds or the eggs of birds, which is predatory behavior. And I'm not here to judge any animal. You have to understand there is human beings who have the same traits, okay? And this can be dangerous, okay? I'm not talking about dangerous squirrels. They do what they need to survive. Animals are created in and are innocent, okay? It's just a way to understand people better. The equivalent in the bird kingdom, by the way, of the squirrel is the magpie, and these two are in competition, but they are basically doing the same things and having the same traits, but of course a little bit different, each one of them. Because of time, let me proceed. The next spirit, or let me get quickly, because we started with the eagle and the snake. Let me tell you, the eagle will say, I am not afraid of the dragon. Let the dragon confront me, okay? But, or even the eagle might say, I have tried to confront the dragon, but when the eagle goes to the dragon will shut the doors of the underworld and hide himself, okay? So he's afraid. And the thing is, this way, the conflict can never be solved, okay? Because there is always this, the squirrel perpetuates the conflict. It makes the conflict worse. And the eagle says, oh, the dragon shall confront me in a fair combat. I'm not afraid of him, but the dragon will never come. And when the eagle tries to confront the dragon will hide. So this is why the conflict is never be solved, okay? Now, let me now proceed to the weasel, okay? The weasel has a hunting strategy, and here we're coming back to the camouflage. The camouflage of the squirrel is to be seemingly harmless, and the camouflage of the weasel is to be sick and insane. They have a dance. There is a certain kind of weasels who, when they see a rabbit that they want to kill, they start acting crazy, like a dying squirrel, like a dying weasel. They make a kind of a dance that looks like they are completely going ham, are dying, jumping, and this is like a gaslighting. They literally gaslight the rabbit, and the rabbit is like, what the heck is this weasel? This weasel is so insane, it could never attack me. And this is, if you have this trait in humans, now we're going to the psychological side, this is the strategy and the camouflage of the dormant psychopath or the covert narcissist, which means they display an extreme level of being incapable of doing anything. I'm so depressed. They will say things like, I'm so depressive, everybody treated me wrong, they stole from me, and I'm so, and they are laying flat like a doormat. And then you'll be like confused and you think, okay, whatever. And as soon as you turn your back, or when you help this person and feed them, they will just recover and then kill you, basically. This is what the weasel does with the rabbit. The rabbit is like confused because of this gaslighting, and the weasel will capitalize on this false trust that he induces in his victim. So be careful of weasels when they weasel their way into your life and play harmless and incapable. And then they extract something from you. You help them, you feed them, and then they bite your hand and with a poisonous bite. Okay, be careful of doormats, okay? On the doormat before your door might be a welcome, and you leave the weasel in your house. And the weasel will be the new doormat in your house. But guess who will lock the door to your house? The doormat. Psychopath. Okay, the next topic is let's go with the hyena. To understand these people better, these animals, you need to watch animal documentaries about them and read books. Of course, hyenas are demonized like sharks. So in a lot of movies or documentaries about them, they make a bad image about the animal, and this does not justice to the animal, because we need every animal. Again, I'm not judging any animals here, and even not human beings. I'm just giving you an understanding of what to be, how to understand people quickly and efficient if you are gaslit, because not everybody is like you. It's like in the animal kingdom, and this has a true background because of our brains and our behavioral patterns coming from nature, and people using the same sets of skills that we find in the animal kingdom to extract what they need to survive. So there are different survival strategies in humans, and there are different survival strategies in animals, and they are showing in what kind of animal we're looking at. So just check out how hyenas work, okay? They are also highly opportunistic, which means they don't care what kind of animal they have. They will use any chance to kill something or eat it, and they will also eat anything. No matter how old it is, no matter how smelly it is, no, doesn't matter. Highly opportunistic, and they will also eat the bone marrow, so they can eat things that no other animal can eat. Educate yourself about hyenas, and they have a matriarchic society, so they have these strong female leaders, and yeah, you just educate yourself about them, and you will also be able to discern certain behavioral patterns in human beings better when you understand hyenas. Vultures. Vultures, again, I see the spirit of covert narcissists in them. What a vulture will do is, in nature, they look for an animal that is in a bad situation or in a bad condition. And they will circle around this animal until this animal is at its lowest point, and then they will not even attack it. And this is what covert narcissists also do. They never openly attack anyone, but they will wait until they can extract something from that person. And also covert narcissists, or they are human beings who also have this completely delusional, they have a sadistic smile, but they also have a delusional smile, which I see literally when a vulture is taking his bloody head out of the carcass of an animal and smiles in a delighted way of just eating the inside of this animal. And this is, I'm sorry to tell you this, but there is human beings who also delightfully do things like that to other people. And you have to understand that, in fact, covert narcissists or dormant psychopaths, again, are people who often claim to be I'm going too deep now, as a camouflage to be depressed, while in reality it's a narcissistic depletion they suffer from. So they have not eaten. Okay? let's say the vulture or the weasel has not eaten. So they are very hungry. This means they have no energy to put in a real fight, to really go hunting. This again means they have to, and now we transfer to human being again. They have no supply. The narcissist, the psychopath, has no supply. They need a damaged relationship with a narcissist in it. The narcissist is looking for a new supply because the old supply is waking up and holding the narcissist accountable. So the narcissist will discard this person soon and is secretly looking for a new supply. And this vulture, this weasel, is already around and just waiting and future faking. So will use the same weapon that the narcissist used to get his first supply, his grade A supply, using it against the narcissist now. So the vulture, covert narcissist weasel will come in and future fake to the narcissist how great, how grandiose he is, or what he can offer, or she can offer, and thus perpetuating the decay of this relationship. We are now in a triangulation again, okay? So what will happen is the supply gets discarded, the old supply gets discarded, gets black sheep scapegoated to stay in the animal kingdom out of this. I could make an hour-long video alone about this situation, and I made them, but we are focused on that vulture spirit, right? So a vulture or the covert narcissist will be happy to help to perpetuate, to destroy this already damaged relationship, destabilize the whole situation around it, and then become the new supply for the enabling other narcissistic psychopath. It sounds complicated, so let me try to put it on point and finish the video. A narcissist needs supply. The narcissist is in a damaged relationship because the original supply, they are parasites. They need a supplier, they need a host. But it's damaged. The host says, I'm getting rid of this. I want to get out of this, okay? The vulture comes in, the covert narcissist that has run out of any supply, is a willing victim, a willing host, so to say, and wants to take the place of this other old supply that is being discarded anyway. In other words, be careful of people who are camouflaged under the spirits of the harmless squirrel, the incapable maniac weasel. Be careful of people who circle around you, over you, and waiting for your downfall, destabilizing your environment, and future faking. And be careful of highly opportunistic, extremely intelligent, strategizing hyenas who have a huge circle of flying monkeys around them. It's such a scary picture. Think of an army of hyenas that have an army of flying monkeys and vultures around them. What a team. It could take down any lion, couldn't it? Stay blessed. Stay discerned. And let me finish the video. Thank you.